What is going on, everybody? This is Chemo back again, bringing you another hardcore gameplay, and this time with a story behind it. As you can see on the screen, it's a score of a game that I had just finished playing with some friends. We ended up playing on the map Fringe, and we ended up going up against a whole other team, and they were all pretty much a bunch of campers, except for two of them. The rest were all camping hard. Basically, what was going on is that I was trying to level up my weapon, well, a brand new weapon, and they kept on killing me. I started like 1 or 2 and 5 before I realized what they were doing. They were camping the backside of the White House hard, and they would not let up. So I got upset and I went to my go-to setup. They basically forced me to go back to camping, though by the time that I decided to go camping and started getting a little bit of momentum going, they started calling in a wraith, more than one UAV, a sentry gun, and I was pretty much pinned down to where I couldn't do anything. So that's how I ended up 13 and 5. So instead of backing out and running away, we decided to play them against. And so this time now, my mission is going for payback. I know what they're going to do, and I'm going to get them out of their comfort zone. So let's get this game started. Since I'm the only camper of the team, and it's 4 of them, it's basically 1 camper versus 4. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the window right over here and get a kill. As soon as I get a kill, I know that they're going to be going through the other side of the house, and I'll be waiting for them. I know that they're going to be trying to come in through the window, through this side of the window, the front side of the window, the entrance by the door. So as you can see, I'm covering every single entrance that they could possibly try to come in through. So as I'm getting my tag, I'm still going to stay in by the entrance of the door because they won't be expecting me here. So it's basically playing chess with them, and that's basically what I'm doing.
UAV ready for tasking.
Based on how they played that first game, I know that they're going to be relentless in trying to take over this house and take control of this backside of the map. So at this point, my mission is to get as many kills as possible and get into my score streaks before them. Now, for those that know me and for those that have been following me, know that I'm a camper. So rushers, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice on how to get to campers. The best and easiest way to get to a camper is by not feeding them their score streaks and by getting to them with your score streaks. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. And as you can see, exactly what I mentioned in the beginning, that they were going to be trying to take over this backside of the map. That's basically what I'm doing, just covering every angle that I can possibly, cover. They finally got me though, but by now I got all my score streaks and I got my hives. It was just too many of them. Now remember, even though it's 6 versus 6, it's 4 campers and I'm the only camper of the team. So I'm just basically trying to counter everything that they do. So now all I'm doing is just checking, make sure that there's nobody behind. Again, because as I mentioned also in the beginning, there are 2 of them that are running around trying to collect the tags that the other campers are creating for them. Now, just a little hint: when you place a sentry gun, just like I did now, try to go prone as you're putting down the sentry gun by a window so that you don't get killed while trying to place a sentry out on the open by a window. Now, unfortunately, just as I placed the sentry, they called in a wraith, so I can't go out right now until that wraith, either gets destroyed or goes away. And so as soon as it's done, I'm going to go ahead and call in my Cerberus. Now remember, I got my beehives behind me and inside this barn to help me out, just like it did just now. Okay, so now that the wraith is done with, now it's time for me to counter them with my score streaks. So you know exactly where I'm going to go. I know that their comfort zone, as I mentioned, is behind the White House, so that's exactly where I'm taking my Cerberus. Now, if you notice, I'm going after them, but I waited to go after them once I got in my Cerberus, not before. One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people make, both rushers and campers, is that whenever they go after somebody and they get killed, they continue to do the same thing over and over again. They continue going, taking the same routes. They continue doing the same things. So guess what's going to happen? You're making it easier for them. You're giving them their kill streaks, which is going to make it not just more difficult for you, but for the rest of the team. Now remember, in the beginning, what they were trying to do is that they were trying to rush at me, but I was countering them, and they were just feeding me those kills, which allowed me to get into my kill streaks. Now I'm coming after them, but I'm not coming after them rushing. I'm coming after them with a tank, with a Cerberus, and that is the best and easiest way to get to a camper or anybody that you're trying to take out. Instead of putting your body on the line, use your kill streaks. I know a lot of rushers out there say that they get a lot more satisfaction getting their kills with their weapons as opposed to kill streaks, but sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and, you know, camp a little, get into those kill streaks, because as good as you may be, there's always going to be somebody better than you. So sometimes you're just gonna have to rely in doing something that you normally wouldn't do. You know, I camp, but sometimes I'm forced to rush when need to.
Ready for deployment.
So it pretty much comes down to doing what's necessary to make things easier for you and your teammates.
Power depleted.
Now, as soon as my time from the servers ran out, look what happened. I had all my score streaks waiting for me all over again. Now, I could have done what I tried to do in the first game, which was try to run around to get some kills that way and collect some tags, but that wasn't working. So that forced me to change my strategy, which was go back to what I normally do best, which is camping. Now, keep in mind that the rest of my team, they run around, they don't camp. So they weren't finding much success doing that, so I changed my strategy to be able to provide more support for them and try to make things easier for them. And at the same time, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm actually out for payback. Even if they beat us, I'm going to make sure that they pay for it. So, you know, yes, I'm not gonna lie, they did upset me a little bit in the beginning. Now, I wasn't upset at the fact that they were camping. I was actually upset at the fact that they kept me from doing what I wanted to do, which was level up a weapon. I was trying to get some attachments for a weapon, and I was trying to run around, get some kills that way, but they just were not allowing me to. Now, you can't really get mad at somebody for employing a strategy that's working. You know, yes, they were camping. You know, again, there was 2 of them that were rushing, benefiting of what they were doing and collecting those tags. But again, how can you hate at that? How can you hate that? How can you get mad at that? If they're doing something successful, then do something to counter it.
Hardened sentry shutting down.
You got all these different weapons, you got all these different perks, you got all these different kill streaks at your disposal to counter anything you see being done on the game. And sometimes it's just as simple as changing your strategy along with a few other setups that you may be employing that are not working. If something is not working, change it instead of complaining. Instead of leaving the lobby and running away from it, face that challenge head on. Try to do better next time. That is the only way you're going to continue getting better at this game. Just because you may get destroyed in one game, don't mean that you can't get better. So make the adjustments necessary and just make it happen. Now, it doesn't mean that I've never left the lobby before. Now, if it's lagging really bad, or if you just can absolutely tell that somebody's hacking, then in those situations, yes, I do leave lobbies like that. But otherwise, if it's not one of those 2 things, unless I'm playing with some team members that they said they want to leave, then I would rather stay and continue playing until I beat those people instead of just running away. So at this point of the game is pretty much over, so I was just trying to get some last second kills before the game ended. And when I saw that he killed me when I threw the smoke there, I know that if I throw the smoke there again, I know he was going to be expecting for me to be by the window. So I'm trying to basically bait him in, see if he falls for it, and as you'll see in a second, he did. And remember the game before this one, we ended up losing by like 30 or 31 points, and I ended up going 13-5. And they beat us again on this game, but this time it was a lot closer game. So by making the necessary adjustments, look what ended up happening. I ended up going from 13-5 to 46-4 this time, and look at all the rest of their teams, or the other team, they all went negative. The only one that was doing good either ended up, quitting and left, or ended up getting kicked out for team killing. But either way, making all of them go negative, it was pretty much a victory for me, because I know that if we continue playing them and with some more adjustments, that we would be able to beat them easily. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay, and I will catch you all later.